Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
What is going on, guys? It's Dan the Man, aka Daniel's son, bringing you another video. I'm starting to do videos now, and I'm back. Now, this video, though, is talking about myself and other family members in this household did get the corona, the COVID-19, the symptoms. We got tested positive. That's me. That's including my girlfriend. That's including my son. That's including my mom. That's including my brother. We all got it. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about what the process that I went through when I was tested positive, and then the whole ordeal, the different ways people reacted to it. Like, we're all different somewhat of how we recovered. Some recovered faster, some took a while, and some we still have a little bit of lingering effects from it. So so just to let you guys know, I got COVID. I got COVID. It's real. It's not a prank. It's not fake. It's definitely not the worst condition I've been in, especially this year, but it's kicks your ass. It really sucks. Fortunately, all of us didn't have to go to the hospital. We didn't have shortness of breath. The thing we were worried about was myself. I have type 2 diabetes, so that could really affect my body having this. And then also my mother, who low immune system, medical issues, you name it. She's one of the people we definitely had to look out for. And then my girlfriend, she had bronchitis, she has weak kind of lungs. And my son, thankfully, you would have never knew he had it. Well, my brother, he's the one that brought it into the household, but it wasn't from negligence. It wasn't from him going out partying or anything like that. He got it from his work. Somebody tested positive. He brought it back. He tried to quarantine himself as fast as he could, but unfortunately it spread. So it went from him to all of us, and of course we went to go take a test. So the test, if wherever you work at, they'll pay for you to get that test as quickly as possible. When my brother went to go, he went to, I don't know if his work had him go to a certain place. I think so. They swabbed both his nostrils, and I'll tell you about the process of the test. But for him, they swabbed both his nostrils, and they got him in quick. They got him in like the next, when he found out that somebody got tested positive and he had to go get tested. I think he got tested that next day or 2 days from there, and then he got the results pretty quickly. It just really depends, I think, the area you live in and where you're going to the testing sites, of whether you're going to get it a little sooner or later. I mean, so my process, so once he tested positive, then we all had to get tested. So I went to just a free one, a normal one over there by our fairgrounds in the city. And you go in, you state what you have, like symptoms. For me, it was the sore throat at first, and it was a little bit of coughing. Same with my girlfriend. My mom, she already had doctor's appointments, and they wanted her tested ASAP. She had a fever, about 101, and it got to 102 at one point. Coughing, like flu-like symptoms. So when I went to the free site to get tested, what they do is they ask you, what is your symptoms? They take you to the back. You sit down on a chair, and they get it looks like a little Q-tip or whatever, and they only used one of my nostrils, one side. They didn't do both like my brother, and they stick it up, and there's a little slight burn. It feels very tingly and weird. It's not bad. A lot of people are freaking out about it. Honestly, it's kind of like getting a shot. Okay, but it's not a needle. And it's super quick. It's like less than a minute. It's not even close to a minute. So they stick it up, they get that sample, and then you're done. And then you go home. And for my son, they didn't go all the way. They kind of just like around the nostril. So we all went back. The problem with this whole situation in the pandemic is the testing. The testing is too slow. The results are too slow because by the time when we got tested, it was a Friday and we didn't get our results back until next week on a Thursday or even like a Wednesday, Thursday, super early in the morning. I got mine first, and then it took one more day for my girlfriend to get hers. Of course, positive, right? Positive. And then we got my son tested, and then of course he came out positive. But like I said, he's 2 years old, and you wouldn't even think he had the symptoms. He had like a slight little cough, and that was about it. That was it. So the process of the test, the amount of time it takes is really bad, guys. It's really bad because when you go from Friday and you go to next week to that Thursday, you're already feeling the symptoms. You're already, your body is already breaking down. So we automatically like, we have it. There's no way that we don't have it. We're just going to just treat like this. This is positive. We're positive, and our son has to get tested. So here's how it went. So my brother got it first. He had a cough. I think he was very fatigued, but he's about 22, 23 years old. He got over it kind of quick. It took him about 10 days to get over it. He still had a slight cough. He still has a little bit of a slight cough as well. That's just kind of like the lingering effects, but very fine. He was great. He was good to go, which was great because we needed somebody to, clean the house, prepare the food. While he's doing this, we are in our rooms. Okay. We are in our rooms, quarantine. We can't go anywhere. We stayed in our rooms. It will drive you bonkers. It sucks being in your room that's not a living room as big as a living room. It's just a small room for that remainder of time, depending on how long it takes for you to get back on your feet, which it took me about 2 weeks. It took me, my girlfriend. My girlfriend it took her like maybe less than 2 weeks. And then my son just, it was my son, but my mom and me took about a little over 2 weeks. So my brother it took him 10 days. He was able to do the things he needed to do to help us out. So after taking the test, I had a cough in the very beginning. I think it lasted about 3 days. Sometimes a little bit of a headache, not too much. My other family members, that was the severe case, was the headache. So 2 days passed by, and then I'm actually have an appetite. So I'm ordering DoorDash. I'm getting Jack in the Box. I'm eating good. I'm tasting, and then it hits you. I can't taste anything. I can't taste the food. I can't smell anything because I was using Vapor Rub for my cough. I was drinking tea. No, the thing about having Corona is I drink a lot of soda before it, but once I got it, I was not drinking any soda. I was drinking water, Gatorade, and tea. Those are my 3 things that I was constantly doing every single day. So the cough was there. It started to go away, and then my taste I couldn't taste anything. I couldn't taste anything. I couldn't smell anything. Nuts. You would put something in your mouth and you'd be like, this shit tastes really good, but all I'm tasting is the texture. Gatorade, I should be tasting that fruit punch flavor, but all I'm feeling is that texture. So weird. I think that was the one symptom when you get COVID that you trip out on and you kind of hate, because what's the point of eating? What's the point of drinking? But you got to do it to keep your body keep going. My mom did not want to eat most of the time. She felt like she was going to throw up. So we would get her blenders, at least something. Her doctor said that if she doesn't want to eat, she doesn't have to, but she needs to drink a lot of fluid. So a lot of water, some tea. She started strong with the tea, but she kind of like lost it after a while. But we made sure she had blenders and nice fruity drink, all the protein and all that stuff, because that's what you need to continue the fight, because this is no joke, guys. So after losing this taste and smell, it kind of got worse. So after losing taste, and it lasted about 3 days. I would say 3.5, because you start getting that little sense of a little bit of a taste and smell, a little, like it barely creeps in, and then you fully grasp the tasting and then the smelling. You finally get back to normal. So, but throughout the process, my body was aching, my back really hurt quite a bit throughout the whole process. There was one point going, my room's here. I still had to use the bathroom. So the bathroom is like just about 10 steps away. Yet there was one point where it was super hard to get to the bathroom because I was just so tired and my body was hurting so much. It was hard to get off the bed. And that's the problem too, is you're laying in bed most of the time trying to recover. Your body needs to move, or you're going to have those aches and stuff. So dealt with that. My girlfriend had a little bit of that. My girlfriend had hot flashes. So she would, at night when she's trying to sleep, it would be cold, but then it's not cold. Then she would be hot, and when it's not hot, like it was back and forth. It was blanket, no blanket, blanket, no blanket. Son's still doing great. Just a little cough. I think at one point he did lose the sense of taste, because at one point he wasn't really eating, but he would drink his milk, which was great. He still drank his milk, and we gave him some protein, like these little kids nutrition drinks. So, and then my mom was, it's crazy because you're right there, but you're really not communicating. You're just FaceTiming. My friends were calling me, seeing how we were doing. There's a lot of FaceTime calling. You never interacted because you're in the room. So my mom she was probably the worst out of all of us, because she did have a fever, but it would go up and down. So she would be at 101, but then she would be at 98 the next day. But then, 98 the next day, 98 the next day. Oh, back to 101, back to 99. So you could still have it even if you don't have a fever. The fever is not the main. I think the fever is not the main thing that triggers like your thought process saying that you have it. You cannot have a fever and you could have all these symptoms and you could have it. You can still spread it too. So I think the main thing you got to look for is the loss of taste, the loss of smell. And I would even say it starts definitely with a sore throat, like a flu-like, symptom, and it gets worse from that. And then you start coughing. But the loss of taste is definitely something, I think, if you get it, I think you got corona, guys. So, I mean, you're losing your mind, right? I'm buying a lot of Funko Pops because I'm just stuck in the room, and I'm playing a lot of video games because I'm stuck in the room. I'm watching a lot of Pixar movies because I'm stuck in the room. So my girlfriend was pretty much back to normal. But she still was quarantined with me, so she still couldn't go out and do things because she had to wait till I got better, because we're in this together, basically. So I started feeling, it's crazy. It's an up and down roller coaster where I would be feeling so much better. And I'd be like, okay, I'm beating this. This is good. My cough's gone. My taste is back. All right. Like, well, I'm ready to grub on something. Let's get some DoorDash or something like that. Next day, it happened at night. There was almost had chills. It wanted to come. I could feel my body wanting to like chill, like to shake and stuff. But that never happened. My mom had that, but I didn't have that. I was close. That night felt like a freaking gut punch. That's when my body started to really feel tired, fatigued. I went to sleep early. I went to sleep, I think at 7:00. I never do that. And I slept all day. I slept all night until the morning. And I still was feeling really like crap. I just feel bad. That's when so you thinking that everything's okay, and then it'll hit you again. So it's a roller coaster ride. There's been a couple times while I was in quarantine where that happened, where it was up and down. That particular time though was probably the worst time, and that was like the end process of it all. But then I got a cough back. And the cough really messed me up. The cough, my girlfriend's like, you kind of have like a bronchitis kind of cough where I would hack up You could feel the mucus, and you could just really feel your body just trying to get it all out. And if a big cough would to occur, like I would like cough and feel like I'm choking, and it would hurt, and I would just brace myself for having to cough really bad, because I know this cough, me going into this full on big cough is gonna hurt, and it's gonna take a while before I stop coughing. So that was the worst thing I think through the whole thing is I hated that, having that cough, and it lasted about 2 days. Lasted about 2 days, 3 actually. Vapor rub, tea, try to get over the hump, and that was the last thing that got me over the hump. And then I was back to pretty much kind of normal. The long effects is I can still feel myself wanting to cough a little here and there. I think my eyesight got worse, and I have terrible eyesight, but I think it got worse. And I think it just depends on the person. Through the whole process, if you get corona, if you get COVID, and you definitely want to isolate yourself. Because there is people I know that have gotten it, but they isolated themselves, and their family didn't get it because they nipped it in the bud right on time. That's why the testing's horrible, because you barely find out. And now, you've been talking to people or with people that's the situation right there. So it is very possible for you to self-quarantine and not give it to your family members that you live with, or whoever you live with. If you guys got it, well, you guys are quarantined. And if you guys all have it, the only reason why we did that process is because my brother already was over the hump. He was over the hump faster than we thought. So that's why we didn't all roam around the household together, and then plus we had to see if, maybe our son doesn't have it. But I mean, clearly he was going to have it because he was with all of us. So yes, you got to self-quarantine, clean. You got to make sure whatever you touch, sometimes I would have, if I had to go downstairs one time, I made sure I cleaned up. You wear your mask in the house. You got to do everything you can to just get this, get out of the hump. And luckily my mom, she got better, because I was more scared of what her health was going to be like because of everything that she's already has. So having a shortness of breath and you're going to the hospital, that's probably one of the scariest points. Luckily none of us got shortness of breath. We just got the other kind of symptoms. It's kind of crazy what's happening in the world today, and how many people are making really this thing a political thing, which I could see, but yet we are humanity, and humanity, this is a health issue. It's not a political thing. I was generally worried about my elderly, which she's not even that old, my mom. How devastating would that be? I don't want people to be a statistic in this thing. I don't want the death toll to go up. We all recovered. We didn't go to the hospital, thank God. But it's better safe than sorry, So we try to take as much precaution as we can, and I feel like people are starting to get it now, even though it's not kind of like crazy life-threatening like other diseases out there, or you could basically walk out the door and something can hit you. But it's still something we need to really need to take serious. At first, I didn't think this was all serious, but now I'm taking it serious because I got it, and my family got it. My child got it. Even though I saw a lot of videos saying that children about 2 years old, that it's not as bad for them. And it kind of showcased that. But we all need to just we need to come together, guys. That's the biggest message I can tell you. It's not a joke. It's not fun. It sucks. I think in the beginning we were all doing great, and then we went back and took a back seat. It's time to keep going forward, and it's time to change our outlook in life and try just all to come together and do something about this. So Thank you guys. I just wanted to share my story on the COVID, us getting COVID, and what it was like, and to share to you what at least what we experienced. But I know a lot of people experience different. It's really different for a lot of people too. The people who are in the hospital have probably medical conditions, or maybe not. It's a crazy world we live in, but we're in it. So let's do something about it, and let's just try to take it one day at a time. I'm Dan the Man, aka Daniel Sun. You can find more videos. I have a lot of videos of a lot of different things, a lot of content. So if you want to check those out, go right ahead. Hit the subscribe button if you like this video, if like the info, and you like any of my other videos. Notification button, go ahead and hit that to get notified, because there's a lot of videos coming your way. And shout outs to my friends, shout outs to my family members who reached out. But yeah, we're good, but that doesn't mean we ain't gonna get it again, because we still gotta watch out. So thank you guys. I'm Dan Daniel Sutton. I'm out of here. Goodbye. I'm Batman. No.